Hello, cherished seeker of wisdom. Today we're going to unravel a mystery that, although it may seem minor, can be a crucial signal our body sends us. We're talking about itching, that pruritus we sometimes dismiss, blaming it on new soap, summer heat, or simple dry skin. But beware, it's not always that simple. Sometimes that persistent itch, the one that gives us no peace, is like a messenger knocking on our door with important news about our internal health. Understanding this is fundamental, especially when we aspire to full longevity and comprehensive well-being. Often, in the third age, we tend to normalize certain discomforts, but it's precisely at this stage that attention to detail can make a world of difference in our quality of life. Detecting the cause of persistent itching in time can be the master key to help us prevent the development of more serious conditions, allowing us to maintain our independence and enjoy healthy aging with happiness. So, open your ears and mind wide, because what seems like a simple skin irritation could be telling us much more than we imagine about our healthy habits and the need to adjust our diet or even our exercise level. If you're liking this approach, give the video a thumbs up. Think about this, my good friend. The body is an incredibly wise machine, and every sensation has a reason. That itch, which might seem trivial, is actually a warning, a kind of early alarm that gets triggered. If we repeatedly ignore it, we could be missing a golden opportunity to proactively care for our health. It's not about becoming a hypochondriac, far from it. It's about developing an attentive listening towards our organism, cultivating an active mind that knows how to discern. Sometimes, the path to happiness and well-being in the third age is paved with attention to these small signals. Healthy aging isn't just the absence of disease, but a state of balance where body and mind collaborate. Therefore, if that itch becomes your inseparable companion, if it wakes you up at night, or if you simply feel that something isn't right, it's time to investigate. This small act of self-care can have an enormous impact on your longevity and on maintaining that precious independence we value so much. Healthy habits, like a good diet and regular exercise, are pillars, but so is knowing when to seek advice. Don't underestimate the power of a timely consultation. It could be the first step towards a better quality of life. Do you identify with this? Tell me in the comments. Now, how does this peculiar sensation, this itch that sometimes drives us crazy, actually occur? Well, it's not black magic, I assure you. In essence, itching, or pruritus as we experts call it, is the result of the activation of very specialized nerve endings in our skin. Imagine them as tiny sensors. When certain substances, like the famous histamine, the one we hear so much about with allergies, come into contact with these sensors, bam, the itch signal is triggered. This is crucial to understand that itching is not a disease in itself, but a symptom, a response from our body. The challenge, and this is where it gets interesting for our longevity and well-being, is to find out what's activating those sensors. It could be something as simple as the tag bulpion, a new shirt scratching, a detergent a bit more aggressive than usual, or an allergic reaction to something we ate or touched. Keeping an active mind helps us connect these dots and improve our quality of life. To keep receiving tips like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But that's not all. Not all itching comes from an external rub. Sometimes the real cause lies deeper, in the depths of our organism. Internal alterations, imbalances in the functioning of our organs can manifest through the skin with this warning signal. That's why, when an itch becomes persistent, when it's intense and doesn't yield to usual home remedies, we must raise the alarm and think further. It could be the first sign of systemic problems requiring medical attention to ensure healthy aging. This is especially relevant in the third age, where health can be more delicate. Paying attention and not minimizing it is an act of self-love, a step towards maintaining independence and happiness. A good diet, proper exercise, and healthy habits are our great allies. But careful observation is the compass. How important it is to know our body. If you're learning something new, thumbs up. Let's delve into slightly more specific territory now, my esteemed fellow traveler. Let's talk about those situations where persistent itching is screaming at us that something more serious might be happening. One of the first suspects, when the itch becomes generalized and tenacious, is our good friend the liver. This organ is a true chemical laboratory, responsible for filtering toxins and waste from the blood. What happens when the liver isn't working at 100%? Well, those toxic substances, instead of being eliminated, start to accumulate in the bloodstream and eventually deposit in the tissues, including the skin. This accumulation can irritate those nerve endings we mentioned earlier, causing an itch that is sometimes maddening. What a predicament! This can directly impact our quality of life and, if not addressed, affect our longevity. A healthy liver is synonymous with well-being, and neglecting it can compromise our independence and the happiness of healthy aging. Maintaining healthy habits like a balanced diet and avoiding excess alcohol is fundamental for liver health. Did you know about this connection? Comment below. And it's not just the itching. Take note. When the liver is in trouble, it usually sends other signals. A very characteristic one is jaundice, that yellowish tone that the skin and the white part of the eyes can acquire, as if we'd painted ourselves with turmeric. It's also common for urine to become darker, like strong tea, and for stools to be lighter, almost whitish. Extreme tiredness, a fatigue that doesn't go away even after sleeping 12 hours, can also be a traveling companion in these cases. All this, added to the itching, forms a picture that warrants a doctor's visit without delay. It's not to be alarmed unnecessarily, but to be prudent. Caring for our liver health is investing in longevity and well-being. An active mind, well-informed, makes better decisions for its quality of life, especially in the third age, where healthy aging and independence are treasures. Moderate exercise and a good diet are key to maintaining happiness. Don't forget to like if this info is useful to you. Continuing with the hard-working organs, let's move on to the kidneys. These little filters are champions, but when they start to fail, in what's known as renal insufficiency, things get complicated. Similar to what happens with the liver, if the kidneys can't effectively purify the blood, toxins, like urea, and also minerals like phosphorus accumulate. This excess of substances in the body is another common cause of persistent and often very annoying itching. It's an itch that can be felt with particular intensity on the back, arms, or even spread throughout the body. Imagine the discomfort. This can seriously affect well-being and quality of life. Caring for kidney health is vital for longevity and healthy aging. For those in the third age, maintaining independence and happiness involves paying attention to these organs. Want more tips on healthy habits and diet for your kidneys? Subscribe so you don't miss them. And just like with the liver, kidney problems usually come with other symptoms that can alert us. Swelling, especially in the feet and ankles, is quite common. Does it sound familiar when shoes feel tighter than usual, or socks leave a deep mark? Well, it could be fluid retention because the kidneys aren't eliminating excess water. Tiredness is also a frequent symptom, a feeling of exhaustion not justified by the effort made. And of course, changes in urine, urinating less than usual, or even noticing foam in the urine can be signs. If the itching is accompanied by any of these symptoms, red alert, it's time to consult. Protecting our kidneys is protecting our independence and aspiring to longevity with well-being. An active mind seeks information, exercise helps, and a conscious diet is a pillar for health and happiness in the third age. If you find this valuable, share this video. Let's talk about circulation now, my dear friend. Good blood flow is like a river that nourishes all the lands of our body. But when this river encounters obstacles, as in venous insufficiency or the famous varicose veins, things change. These conditions make it difficult for blood to return effectively from the legs to the heart. And what happens? Well, blood tends to stagnate in the lower parts, and with it, metabolic waste products also accumulate in the skin, especially in the calves and ankles. This accumulation of residues can irritate the skin and cause considerable itching, often accompanied by a darkening of the area, as if the skin were stained. Caring for circulation is essential for quality of life, well-being, and healthy aging. This is crucial for maintaining independence and happiness in the third age, where vascular health deserves attention. Have you ever felt heaviness in your legs? Tell us in the comments. Besides itching and skin discoloration in the legs, poor venous circulation can bring other discomforts. The feeling of heaviness in the legs, as if you were wearing weights tied to your ankles, is very common, especially at the end of the day or after standing or sitting for a long time. Swelling is also usually present. And be careful, because poorly nourished skin with deficient circulation is more prone to developing wounds or ulcers that take a long time to heal. So that itch in your calves or ankles isn't just a superficial nuisance. It can be a warning that your veins need help. Improving healthy habits like a good diet and regular exercise, walking is pure gold, can make a big difference. For full longevity with independence, taking care of our internal pipes is fundamental for health and happiness. Consider this to keep your active mind and body in shape. Aha! And we can't forget diabetes, a condition that unfortunately is increasingly common. When blood sugar levels are constantly elevated, as occurs in poorly controlled diabetes, this can wreak havoc on the body, damaging both small blood vessels and nerves. This damage, known as diabetic neuropathy and diabetic angiopathy, often first affects the extremities, like the legs. One of the consequences is that the skin tends to dry out immensely, becoming more vulnerable and, you guessed it, prone to itching. It's an itch that can be quite intense and bothersome, adding to other challenges that diabetes imposes on quality of life. Controlling diabetes is vital for well-being and healthy longevity. In the third age, this is key for independence and happiness. Health depends on good healthy habits, a proper diet, and constant exercise. Did you find this interesting? Give it a like. But itching in the legs of a person with diabetes isn't the only symptom we should be alert to. Nerve damage can also cause strange sensations, like tingling, burning, or even the feeling of pins and needles, as if you were being pricked. Furthermore, one of the most feared complications of diabetes is difficulty for wounds to heal, especially on the feet. A small cut or blister can become a serious problem if not cared for properly. Therefore, if you have diabetes and start to notice persistent itching in your legs, along with any of these other symptoms, it's crucial to talk to your doctor. Keeping diabetes under control, with a good diet, exercise, and the right medication, is the best strategy to prevent these complications and ensure healthy aging with independence and well-being. An active mind informs itself and acts to protect its health and seek happiness. Subscribe for more tips on longevity. Now let's touch on a slightly more delicate but equally important topic: certain types of cancers, especially hematological ones, meaning those that affect the blood and blood-producing organs, like leukemias or a condition called polycythemia vera. In these diseases, the blood can become, let's say, thicker, or certain chemicals can be released that end up irritating the skin from within. The result can be a generalized itch, affecting the whole body, which is sometimes one of the first symptoms the person notices. Imagine the surprise. Of course, not all itching means cancer, far from it, but it's a possibility that doctors consider when the itch is persistent, unexplained, and accompanied by other signs. Keeping an active mind and knowing these possibilities is part of caring for our health for a better quality of life and well-being. Seeking full longevity. Is this information proving useful to you? Leave me a comment. When we talk about hematological cancers, generalized itching rarely comes alone. It's usually accompanied by other symptoms that, together, can raise suspicion. For example, fever that comes and goes without a clear infectious cause, night sweats so intense they can soak the bedclothes, unexplained weight loss when you're not trying to lose weight, or the easy appearance of bruises even from minor bumps. If you experience intense itching all over your body, along with any of these symptoms, it's fundamental to see a doctor for a complete evaluation. Detecting these diseases early can make a big difference in prognosis and treatment, positively impacting longevity and the possibility of healthy aging. Health is our greatest treasure, and protecting it with healthy habits, a good diet, and exercise is key to independence and happiness, especially in the third age. Don't forget to like. Finally, let's talk about our dear elders, people in the third age. As years go by, it's natural for the skin to undergo certain changes. The skin barrier, that protective outer layer, tends to become fragile, losing hydration and elasticity. This in itself already makes the skin more sensitive and prone to dryness, and therefore to itching. But attention, because in older adults, persistent itching can also be the manifestation of some of those silent diseases we've been mentioning, liver, kidney, diabetes problems, etc., that perhaps haven't yet shown other more obvious symptoms. That's why, in the third age, an itch that doesn't subside should not be underestimated. It's a stage where well-being, quality of life, and independence are especially valuable, and caring for health is paramount for a happy longevity. Maintaining healthy habits, an adequate diet, and adapted exercise is fundamental for healthy aging and keeping an active mind and happiness. Subscribe if you want more content focused on the third age. Now let's focus on specific areas of the body where itching can be a particularly revealing warning sign. Let's start with the nape of the neck and the upper back. Who hasn't felt that annoying itch right there at some point? Often surprise. It's related to stress, anxiety, and muscle tension that we accumulate in that area, as if we were carrying the world on our shoulders. Furthermore, conditions like seborrheic dermatitis, which also causes dandruff, psoriasis, or even simple irritation from sweat, can aggravate it. To relieve it, reducing stress is key. Try meditation, breathing exercises, or some light exercise. Stretching the neck and shoulders also helps a lot. If you suspect dandruff, an anti-dandruff shampoo can be your ally. Keep the area clean and dry. But if the itching persists or is very intense, you know the drill. Consult your doctor. Caring for your well-being and health is key. For longevity and a good quality of life, an active mind seeks solutions for its happiness and independence. Comment if you usually have itching in this area. Let's go down a bit and focus on the legs, specifically the calves and ankles. If the itching is concentrated there, pay attention. It could be an indication of circulatory problems like venous insufficiency or varicose veins, which we've already discussed. Also, as mentioned, diabetes can manifest with itching in this area due to nerve and vessel damage and skin dryness. What can we do? Elevating your legs whenever you can helps improve venous return. If your doctor indicates it, wearing compression stockings can be very beneficial. Massaging the area with natural creams that activate circulation and moisturize the skin is a good idea. Avoid very hot baths, which can dry out the skin more. And of course, if you suspect the cause could be diabetes, or if you have other symptoms like excessive thirst, frequent urination, or weight loss, go straight to the doctor. Investing in the health of your legs is investing in your independence and quality of life for healthy aging and full happiness. Adopting healthy habits like a good diet and exercise is fundamental for longevity and well-being. Give it a like if this helps. Now let's get to work, or rather attention to the palms of the hands and soles of the feet. If the itching is intense and located mainly in these areas, it can be an important warning sign of liver problems. Yes, the liver again. It's an itch that often worsens at night, making rest difficult, and can be accompanied by other signs of liver dysfunction like jaundice, yellow skin and eyes, and profound fatigue. It's not to be taken lightly. If you experience this, the first step is to seek medical attention for relevant tests, such as blood tests and imaging, to assess how your liver is functioning. Meanwhile, and always under medical supervision, taking care of your diet is crucial. Avoid alcohol, saturated fats, and excess sugar. Hydrating well and practicing some light physical activity also contributes to general well-being. Remember that a healthy liver is vital for longevity, quality of life, independence, and happiness, especially during healthy aging in the third age. Health is built with healthy habits and an active mind. Subscribe for more valuable information. And what happens when the itching is generalized, meaning it affects practically the entire body? Phew, that can be really annoying. In these cases, the range of possible causes is wider. It could be related to problems with the kidneys, liver, or gallbladder, as we've already seen. Some types of cancers can also cause it. Allergies to food, medications, or environmental substances are another common cause. Even conditions like iron deficiency anemia or the presence of intestinal parasites can manifest with generalized itching. And let's not forget dry skin, especially in cold climates or with age, and emotional factors like stress or anxiety, which can exacerbate or even cause itching. It is fundamental for health and well-being to identify the cause to ensure a good quality of life and longevity. An active mind and the pursuit of healthy habits contribute to happiness and independence during healthy aging in the third age. Have you experienced generalized itching? Share your experience in the comments. If generalized itching appears, it's important to observe if it's accompanied by other symptoms. Extreme fatigue, nausea, swelling, especially in the legs or abdomen, changes in the color or frequency of urine or stools, fever, or unexplained weight loss are warning signs indicating the need for a complete medical evaluation. While you seek professional help, There are a few things you can do. Try to identify and avoid possible triggers, such as certain detergents, fabric softeners, perfume soaps, or even some foods you might be sensitive to. Maintain a healthy diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and water, and avoid processed foods. Hydrate your skin and body well by drinking enough water. And above all, if the itching persists, is very intense, or is accompanied by those other symptoms, don't hesitate. See your doctor. Your health, well-being, quality of life, longevity, independence, and happiness depend on you taking action. Exercise and an active mind also play an important role in healthy aging and in the third age. Like if these tips seem practical to you. 2. Wrap up this journey, my good friend. I want to leave you with some general recommendations and practical tips that will be very useful. First, and most importantly, observe the symptoms. Learn to differentiate a punctual itch, one that appears and disappears quickly, from a chronic itch, one that settles in and doesn't want to leave. The latter is the one that should concern us most. Then, take care of your skin, like the treasure it is. Avoid excessively hot and prolonged baths, as they can dry it out even more. Use moisturizers, preferably unscented and with natural ingredients right after bathing, when the skin is still a bit damp. Opt for mild soaps and hygiene products that are as natural as possible. And fundamentally, adopt healthy habits in your daily life. A good diet, avoiding alcohol, excess sugar, and ultra-processed foods, and drinking plenty of water are pillars for healthy skin, and, therefore, for your overall health, well-being, quality of life, longevity, independence, and happiness. Regular exercise and maintaining an active mind complement this comprehensive care, essential for healthy aging, especially in the third age. If you think someone else needs to hear this, share the video. And the golden rule, the one that never fails. If the itching is persistent, if it's very intense, if it interferes with your sleep or daily activities, or if it's accompanied by any of the other symptoms we've mentioned throughout this talk, fatigue, skin changes, weight loss, etc., don't remain in doubt. Seek medical help. A professional can perform the necessary tests to evaluate the state of your liver, kidneys, blood, thyroid, and rule out or confirm any underlying condition. Don't try to self-diagnose or self-medicate for extended periods, because you could be delaying an important diagnosis. Remember that your health is your most valuable asset. Investing in it is investing in well-being, quality of life, longevity, independence, and happiness. An active mind makes informed decisions, and seeking professional help is one of them. Continue cultivating healthy habits, a good diet, and exercise for full and healthy aging, especially if you're already in the wonderful third age. I hope this guide has been of great help to you.